The relationship since 1947 between the United States and India has gone through a series of flip-flops. In the beginning, in 1947, the United States was so well disposed to India that they made a number of offers to India. They offered the Marshall Plan type economic assistance, which transformed, as you know, they completely destroyed Europe into modern and Japan into modern economic nations. They also wanted to empower us, and they made an extraordinary proposal that China, the Chiang Kai-shek government had been reduced to a hopeless minority, and they, in fact, they had left the mainland and gone to Taiwan. So they are going to expel China from the Security Council with the veto holding. In 1945, when the great alliance partners, United States, Soviet Union, Britain, France, and China, at that time Chiang Kai-shek led China, assembled in Lake Success in New York to decide on the formation of the United Nations. Roosevelt was of the view that India should also be brought in the Security Council. But Churchill put his foot down and he said, no, it's a colony. And Churchill didn't know he was going to lose the elections. He said, no, it's a colony, and it's going to be a colony for a long, long time to come. And they can't sit in the Security Council. In 1948, Churchill lost the election subsequently in Britain, and Attlee came and India got independence. And the first thing the United States said to India in 1949 is that Mao Zedong has taken over China on a military coup, and therefore Chiang Kai-shek has become untenable. So we are expelling them, and we would like to offer India that seat, which India should have got in 1945 but couldn't because of those circumstances. Well, by the time the offer was made, Nehru had become all-powerful in India. Sardar Patel in 1950 passed away, and Mahatma Gandhi had been assassinated in 1948. And so Jawaharlal Nehru became all in all. And to his surprise, he declined it. And he said, I cannot come at the cost of communist China. It is the successor country, and therefore India will not accept to be a Security Council member. He didn't consult anybody, Jawaharlal Nehru. The offer was made by John Foster Dulles, then Secretary of State, to Vijayalakshmi Pandit, who was ambassador of India in Washington. She sent Jawaharlal a letter, and Jawaharlal then rebuked her, saying that why are you getting into all these high diplomacy and high world politics? You don't know this is a trap of the Americans and all that. And he rebuked her. And so the matter was forgotten. Now it's all very much documented. I had heard about it as far back as 1996 when I had gone public, and everybody laughed at me at that time. But now it's all very documented. And the Woodrow Wilson School has brought out a booklet or a paper in the form of a booklet on this, all the documents that they have managed to get by declassification of the State Department. So then Jawaharlal Nehru also told the Americans, we don't want your Marshall Plan type support, because we are going to go for 5-year plans, the Soviet imitation of 5-year plans. And of course, he had said to the Americans that in the Soviet Union, you see, it's a model for us, because there is no unemployment in Soviet Union, there is no inflation in Soviet Union, there is no poverty in Soviet Union. And of course, 1990, when Jawaharlal Nehru was not around, there was no Soviet Union also. It broke into 16 countries. So he adopted that model, which was a complete failure, produced a growth rate of only 3.5% per year, which the leftist economists like Amartya Sen called it the Hindu rate of growth, demeaning the Hindus once again. But it was clear to the Americans very soon that India was tilting towards the USSR and China, and they were together. China was the junior partner. And then the Korean War came, and there was an armistice there, and then India was put on a delegation, on a committee as a chairman to discuss the terms and conditions of the post-war situation in Korea. And there Nehru took essentially tilted towards the Soviet Union and China in dealing with Korea, and Korea got partitioned into North and South Korea. So what happened then, the United States in 1953, or rather 1952, turned to Pakistan because they wanted a presence in South Asia, and Pakistan was ready and available. And so they signed they made Pakistan a member of the CENTO, Central and East some treaty organization, nuclear treaty organization, or it was CENTO, it was called SEATO, Southeast Asia Treaty Organization. So Pakistan became an ally of the United States. And and then Americans pumped in money, weapons, and so on, and gave Pakistan a big place in the society. By then, the Americans also had begun to feel that India has gone firmly into the Soviet camp. In 1956, Hungary was invaded by Soviet Union to establish communist rule there. India supported the Soviet Union. The whole world in the United Nations condemned the Soviet Union. I'm giving you this background because whatever the prejudices that have worked over the years and still hang somewhere in the mind of the Americans is that we were never with the Americans when it mattered. And of course, they respect India as a democratic country. They respect India as largely as a free market now after Narasimha Rao's period.